Hi, this is Jay with Jay Pryor Consulting and Coaching. If you're getting this newsletter, then somehow you have gotten on my list, and I hope that you're happy to be there. I certainly appreciate you being part of this community. Part of our commitment to each other in this community is that we are people who are out to become our highest best self by chipping away at everything that's not that, right? And that's our definition of transformation. Transformation is chipping away at everything that is not our highest best self, and through practicing progress, not perfection. And so this is October. October for me is one of my favorite months of the year. First of all, it is fall. I love the fall. It's football, it's great weather, it's just all the cool things. I also, after having kids, fall, I've always loved Halloween, but after having kids, it's even better because my kids think Halloween is just the best thing ever. So I thought today there's a couple things I want to talk about. The first thing is fun. I hope that you're going to have some fun in October. And for me, there's a lot of fun that starts happening in the fall. But sometimes when fun kicks in, then what happens is the calendar gets really full. And the next thing you know, I am spreading myself too thin. I am like overdoing it. I'm like not doing self-care, those kind of things. So I thought today that in addition to hoping that you have a good time with fun and making sure that you schedule fun in your calendar, right? If you're a person who is working a lot, schedule fun first. I promise you the work will always be there, right? So schedule the fun and make sure that gets in your calendar because the work will always be there. But more importantly, also, I really want you to be rigorous, right? Because this is what happens. We get excited and we start having fun and things start going really fast. And next thing you know, we drop out our meditation, we drop out our self-care, we drop out other things. So I want to talk about self-care for a minute. So, a lot of times self-care shows up as that massage you want to get or the pedicure, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, which is great. I mean, I get it, that you need time for yourself for that kind of stuff. And putting the oxygen mask on yourself first is the most important thing, right? You've got to come from a place of you feeling well and healthy in order to be able to do whatever you want, actually, to even have a great life, right? I mean, just so you can have a great life, you want to be well, right? So oxygen mask on yourself first. But what does that really look like? So for me, and what I know, I've been teaching and coaching people for a long time, and I will tell you that you can get all the massages in the world, you can get all the pedicures in the world, you can do all kinds of that personal stuff and still not feel fulfilled, right? You can do all kinds of self-care like that, and it still doesn't feel good, right? And so I promise you that if you take time to get yourself centered, right? And we talk about this a lot, like what does that look like for you? And if you aren't in a spiritual conversation with yourself, then maybe this is time for you to have a conversation with yourself about like, what could I align myself with? For me, I have, my belief and my knowing is that there's this substance that is all-knowing and keeps us all connected. And that's what I connect into. I call it my source. I call it, whatever you want to call it, the universe. But what I know is that if I'm not taking time to, for me, meditate and connect to that, for some of you it may be through prayer. But if you're not taking time to do those things, I guarantee you that pretty soon you're going to feel fried and burn out, right? It is that being still and getting this thing to slow down that actually makes the difference. Now, there is a physiological reason for that, right? I've talked about it in my book. I've shown you the Harvard study in my seminar. And basically what happens is that over time, if you meditate and you become somebody who is a regular meditator, it actually thickens up your hippocampus and it thickens up your amygdala, which means you're less reactive to life, right? That's basically where that comes from. And what I know after being a practitioner this long in this field is that it does not matter if you have been meditating every day for 20 minutes for a year. If you start to drop off of that, your world's going to crumble in around you, right? That's what happens. And so I really want to push that capital S care, like spirit care, centeredness care, whatever you want to call it. Like, don't get spooked by this, right? Have it be something you can relate to. Have it be a tree. I don't care. If you connect to a tree, that's fantastic. But go sit and be still with that tree and let your cortisol come down and get to a place of stillness and calm every day, right? Every day. If you could do 5 minutes a day, it would be powerful. If you could do 20 minutes a day, super powerful, right? That'd be amazing. If you can do 20 minutes twice a day, over the top, right? We're way up in there. That's fantastic. If you're somebody who's never started with this, I recommend the Headspace app to start with. That's one of the apps I recommend in the seminar, is the Headspace app. There's a mindfulness app. There's so many apps. Like, you can just go find an app, right? But I really like Headspace because it teaches you to meditate, right? Or even a guided meditation. There's a guided meditation by Bob Proctor on abundance that is a little hypnotic, right? It's a little hypnosis, and it's great. It's 20 minutes, and you do that every day, it would be great. So guided meditation. Deepak and Oprah have a free 21-day guided meditation they do. My point is, meditation stops you from being out there, right? And when we close our eyes and we meditate and we get still, we can't blame anybody else on anybody but right here, right? This is all you're with when you're meditating, is this thing, right? So there's no argument for the world is messing me up. All that's happening is right here, right? And your job is to learn to manage this. And as you go into the holiday season and the winters, if you have some real tools, start to flex that muscle around knowing yourself, getting still with yourself, being with yourself, doing self-care, you're going to be ahead of the game. And so this month, I want to push two things: fun and self-care. Go schedule fun. Make sure it's fun you want to do, not stuff other people think is fun, stuff you think is fun. Make sure you have fun in your calendar, but also the equivalent of self-care. And I don't mean, if you want to get a massage, that's great. You need that. But I mean connecting up with yourself and being still, because that is going to serve you in the long run better than anything else. So once again, thank you for being part of our community. If you have any questions, anything we can ever serve you around, we hope you'll get in touch.